Hello, this is Dennis Pennington, Weed Extension Specialist with Michigan State University. Here to talk to you today about the package of materials that you were sent. This video is specifically for people from the United States side of the project because these are some of the labeling requirements that are on these are required because we have to ship samples across to Honeyland Labs in Ontario. So to start out with, you should have received a box like this. It has all of this stuff in it if you start taking it apart. In this envelope, there's a bunch of materials in here. Lay these all out. There's some pamphlets and brochures from some of our sponsors. And then there is an instruction sheet that looks like this. This tells you when and where and how to collect all of the different samples that are required. So make sure you hang on to that. Inside here also are two bags. These are your yield component sample cover bundles. So these will go with this box. This is what you'll ship the yield component samples back in. And then there's some zip ties. What you'll do when you cut your samples is you'll bundle them all together, and then you'll stick the heads of the bundle up in here, and then take zip ties and zip tie the head of the bag shut, and then zip tie the bundle in a couple of other places. So that's what these are for. Now, the first things that we'll get early in the season are your tissue samples and then a soil sample. This is the mailers that you'll use for your tissue samples. There's two of them. One's for Feeks 6, one's for Feeks 9. And if you look inside here, there's some information. This, because we're shipping these across the border into Canada, we have to have an invoice, and then this is the permit. So we got to have both of these documents on the inside of the container. And then you'll notice on the outside, there's this here. This also contains the same information on the outside of the container, so that if there's any question when this ships across the border, they look in here first. If they can't find it, they will open it, and then we got to have a copy of this on the inside. So when you go out and collect your tissue sample, you want to make sure you get this in here. The tissue sample will actually go inside this brown paper sack. And notice on here it says that this is got your yen ID on here, and this particular one says for Feeks 9. The other one here will say Feeks 6 on it. So you'll collect your 50 leaves, put them in here inside this bag. Make sure that you put the leaves in there flat as much as you can. Don't wad up the leaves and stick them in here. Try to put them as flat as you can, because this needs to go flat. And then you put this, once you have your leaves in here, put it inside this envelope, and then slide it and tuck it in here. Make sure you have your invoice and your permit here. And then basically all I got to do is tape this shut. And then this is all set to mail. It's got your mailer already on there. And it's got the documents on the outside. So when you do your feet or your tissue samples, you'll do the same thing using this packet of materials twice. There's two sets of this materials. Now, when you do your soil sample, there's a bigger box here, and if you look inside the box, you'll see a soil sample bag, and we've already got a sticker on here that has your name and your yen ID, so that information's already on here, so you don't need to write anything on it. Again, this is being shipped across the border, so inside you will see a copy of the permit and the invoice again. That is documentation that we have to have with that on the inside. So go out into your test area, collect your soil sample, put it in here, fold it up like you normally would, and then put that inside this box, close the box, and then tape it up. And then there is the information on the bottom side for shipping. So it's prepaid, just drop it off at a UPS location. And then it also has the documents on the outside, the permit and the invoice in here as well. So basically you put your sample in here, seal this thing up, drop it off at UPS, and that's all you have to do for that. This box is for the grain sample. So at harvest time, we want you to collect a grain sample. So there's a plastic bag here, and it's got your yen ID on it. It says grain sample already right on it. Fill this thing up full, and then when you get this full of grain at harvest time, and make sure you pull grain from the harvest area for the project. Put it in here, and then fold it up, put it in this box, close this box and seal it. And then this also has a return postage where you just drop it off at FedEx station, and it'll come directly back to me here. So this is for the grain sample. And then the final one that you'll have to do is the yield component samples here. That's this big box that was shipped, or everything came shipped to you in. And we made it long enough so that you could cut plants off right at the ground level. And this is long enough to fit them in there. So you'll collect a total of 100 shoots at 10 locations. So you collect 10 shoots at the 10 sampling locations from throughout this area. And then bundle them 50 to a bundle. So you'll have 2 bundles of them. And then what you do is once you get each of the 2 bundles together, use zip ties to zip tie them together, and then put this bag over the heads, and then zip tie with one of these zip ties at the base, just in case in shipping these heads get bounced around a little bit. That way the seed will stay in here and we don't lose any seed. So once you get your yield component samples collected, and we'll have more information for each of these different types of sample of how to collect them in the field as we get to that or closer to that stage in point. So once you have these, your yield component samples will go in here. There is a little bit of packing stuff in here to kind of wrap those up. There will be a sticker, a FedEx sticker, that after you close the box up and get it sealed up, and get it taped, then this will go on the outside, and then this will have the mailer to ship this thing back to me here at the Mason Research Farm here at Michigan State University. So this has just been kind of a quick overview of the different sampling items that are included in this kit that was shipped out to everybody. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. My phone number is 269-832-0497, and my email is pennin34@msu.edu. Best wishes, and I look forward to working with you on this project.